Today's sponsorship is brought to you in part by Social Media Blastoff, the official sponsor of Dynasty Queens. Social Media Blastoff, guys, is a great way to get your platforms going, whether you're an up-and-coming artist or a social media influencer. They do great things as far as with Instagram, TikTok. Also with our music, Spotify, we can do Tidal, Apple Music as well. If you're really trying to build a platform, get more audience, get more exposure, it's definitely the way to go. So right now you can go ahead and create your free account. And if you scan on the QR code, you'll get 25% off on your first purchase. So don't forget, socialmediablastoff.net. Don't forget to scan that QR code, guys.
What's up, you guys? Back again, your girl NiaJ
and Pamela Nicole.
And we are here with another official episode of Dynasty Queens. A lovely, lovely guest today. Miss Nakisha. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. What a great introduction.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
All right. So let's get it.
Let's get right into it.
Yes.
So Nakisha, give us a little bit about your background, where you're from. Are you from Philly?
I am from Philly.
Okay.
I am born in Philly. I moved to Germany when I was 2.
Wow.
And we made our way back. I made my way back. My parents live in South Carolina. So yeah, I'm from Philly. I like to represent Philly all the time. South Philly is where I'm from.
Hey.
And I live in Center City now.
Nice.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. What was life like growing up here in Philly?
Pretty much the same as it is now. You know, it's like some people, they have like a love-hate relationship with Philadelphia. I love it. And, you know, I moved to Jersey for some time and it was just so like dull.
Mm.
But, you know, it's good to raise children and everything, but I miss the city. Like, I miss the sirens. I don't miss the gunshots, but
just the hustle and bustle part of it.
Yeah, you know, it's like you got to listen to crickets all night. That's like a whole different vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when you're from the city. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Yeah, but I love Philly. It's great.
Gotcha.
It's great.
Fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we know that one of the things that you do is you do photography, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah. So let's get into the photography. How did you get started? And let's talk about it.
Okay. So let's see. Many eons ago, back far away, it feels. But I actually went to school for fashion design. I started out in fashion design, and it was, you know, not ever something that I did professionally. Okay. I, you know, went to school, and then when I finished school, I just kind of started, you know, doing like hustle work on the side. Like I would sell clothes and everything. You know, that I would buy wholesale because I'm more of an entrepreneur spirit. I didn't really want to work for anybody. And so I was like, I'm going to start my own like clothing line. Right. Okay. So and I feel like this was probably when the internet was first starting. That's how long ago it was. But we were just having websites, and I'm like, I need a website and I need pictures. And I would hire people to do pictures, and they would be so terrible. So terrible. I mean, it just wasn't the vision that I had for myself. I was more like looking at Vogue and, you know, I wanted what I was seeing in magazines, but the photographers weren't giving me that look. So that's when I picked up a camera. We didn't have camera phones back then, but I picked up a camera and I'm like, I'm just going to do it myself. Right. And then, you know, I would have my husband, who was my boyfriend then, you know, take photos of me or help the models. And it was like, okay, I like this. So that's really how I got my start. Okay. And then once I kind of transitioned out of, you know, fashion, and I think it was, you know, around when we had that big recession after 9/11, and I'm like, I need a real job. And so I ended up in the medical field, and I just ended up, you know, taking photos of the doctors and attorneys. So I learned more about headshots and about lighting, but, you know, my love has always been like fashion photography, portrait, anything that's very dramatic. That's my style. So yeah, that's how it started.
I have a question about, because you said you were taking pictures of like the doctors and stuff in the hospital or whatever. But my question is, was that like candid shots, or was that like, hey, I need you to pose, or how would you know what I mean? Like while they're working?
Sure. So it was very much pose for the most part. Because remember, this is a time when now people are starting to, grow their brands online. So everybody needs pictures.
Okay.
Everybody needs headshots.
I got you. Right.
And then, back then it wasn't so much candid. Like now, people want to see like the lifestyle of whatever genre. But then it was very much pose.
I got you.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I did have a question. As far as your type of, or your specialty in photography, would you consider yourself more of a like boudoir photographer? What is your specialty?
Sure. So I do boudoir. And I love it. But that's not the thing that makes me the most money, or what I'm booking all the time. I feel like what I'm really booking is, people who want brand photography.
Gotcha.
They want stuff for their brand. They want to grow their business or even personal branding. That's really important now. And I do a lot of portrait work. Which is kind of my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So we know that you are an established photographer, but we know that's not the only credit you got to your name. Okay. You've done a little bit of modeling too, right?
Oh my gosh, what? Modeling? Only because the models didn't show up.
Oh, wow. So you like really had to do some time like improvise and make sure that regardless, like, look, it's getting done.
Yeah, for sure. Like, sometimes you just have to do everything, That's how I learned how to do makeup because I'm trying to find makeup artists and people. I'm not going to say people in general, but sometimes people are not reliable or, they're not showing up or they're not on time. And it's like, come on, we got things to do.
Exactly.
So, that's pretty much how I kind of, I don't even like to call it modeling because it's just like, but yes, that's how I ended up in front of the camera.
You would stand in sometimes when you had to stand in.
Sure.
Exactly.
Well, you got the look, girl.
You do. She really is.
So in case the model don't show up, I'm fine. Let me be the model.
Let me do something. Let me do a little something.
You got to do what you must, to make the show go on.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
So with photography, I'm actually curious since you have photographed lots of people and everything. Who is the most interesting person that you've photographed?
Oh, good question. So I worked on a film set and I worked with Bruce Willis and he was amazing. And I just felt so elated and honored to be able to like put my camera on him, without like being part of the paparazzi or something.
Right.
And, everyone who was involved with that film, it was like amazing. So that was, really special. And, also just some of the girls that I have found who are not models. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I may have stalked them at a grocery store or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to photograph you. Those are my favorite.
You saw it in them. They weren't even pursuing it. So it's probably more of an authentic essence.
Yes.
When it comes across the lens.
Yeah, that's what gets me going and inspires me because I feel that there's a lot of women out there who would never even think of themselves as a model, you know, but it's really all about angles and lighting and everything that we've learned taking selfies, right?
Of course.
And some people, to be able to have someone in my studio and I'm taking their picture and they're like, oh my God, who is that? Yeah. That's like, that lights my fire. Yeah.
She's scouting,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Being a scout.
Or a stalker.
Yeah. Or a stalker. You call it one.
Yeah.
So is that like a passion of yours, you feel, the photography? Or do you feel like because of like how you were thrown into it and everything, or is that like something you consider to be a passion, like dear to your heart?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a passion. I like working because I like that money.
Okay.
That's your love language.
Right. That's my love language. I'm going to have to coin that.
Yes, that's my love language too.
Right. Most women should be.
Exactly.
People in general.
I like making the money, but I love photography. And I think that, the fact that I could do both with that, like I can make money and I can take pictures.
Right.
Awesome.
Marriage. Yeah. Perfect marriage.
Perfect.
Both
Yes,
for sure.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Girl, I'm gonna steal that. That's my love language. Okay. Yeah.
And I know you're also a makeup artist too. You kind of started with that. So how did that come to be? Was that just from, like modeling and not having that person someone flaked on you, like, let me start doing makeup? Or how did you get into doing that too?
Sure. So my best friend, she's a celebrity makeup artist.
Okay.
And I remember I never used to wear makeup. Like I'm a tomboy. And she would be like, girl, you need some makeup on. And I'm like, nope, I don't need makeup. And then one day she did my makeup and she showed me like how just even the eyebrows make such a huge difference with your face.
Yeah. Right.
And, just bringing out your natural features like your cheekbones or your eyes, the way they pop. So she taught me everything that I know about makeup. And it was so amazing to be able to learn from her because, once I started doing makeup, like I did makeup in clubs and everything for girls. And it really gave me a lot of experience because you have so many different faces.
Right.
People have different bone structure.
Yes.
People have different skin tones.
Right.
And to be able to like make a look pop, chef's kiss.
Look,
chef's kiss. Yeah, chef's kiss.
Magic.
Yep.
I like that.
What would you say would be your top 5 essential makeup products for any woman?
Oh, good one. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I tell all the girls that I photograph always, even though they don't ask me, I tell them like, the most important thing to start your makeup with is your skin, So you definitely have to take care of your skin. Like, I don't want to pass over that because I feel like that's the number one important thing, Yeah. And I used to have the worst skin, like terrible. And I've spent so much money on maintenance and just understanding how to take care of my skin. Exactly. So for me, that's the most important thing. And then I would say primer for sure. Primer for sure, especially like if you're doing photography or anything that has to do with media, you want to make sure you have like an even look. Brows would be 3, although brows should probably be 1.
It frames the face, right?
Right.
Yes.
I'm like, you cannot take my picture if I don't have no brows on.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then I would say definitely, just some type of color. Lately, I've been loving the... it's not like powder, but it's more like a cream kind of blush.
Okay.
And I just put it on with my fingers. I put it on my lips. I put it on my eyelids. I love it.
It's very versatile.
Very versatile. Like, I can keep it in my purse. If I feel like I look a little tired, I just, you know what I mean? And then lip gloss for sure. Like, it could be colored or it could be not colored, but you gotta have something on the lip because dry lips ain't cute. I heard that. Yeah, for sure. So that was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know that you're also a mother, right?
Yes, I am.
So tell us a little bit about your little one and how much of an impact what you do has on her.
Sure. Oh my gosh. Wow. She's psychotic. But I actually have 2 children.
Oh, you have 2?
I do. My son is 26. So we kind of forget about him sometimes because, he's grown and out the house.
Right.
And my daughter is 6. So it's like a 20-year gap.
Yeah.
But, I think that overall, especially now that my son is older and we talk and, we can talk about different things of, what he experienced being raised versus me, the parent raising him.
Gotcha.
And, just how, at the time that I had my son, I was young, I was growing my career, I was working a lot. And now with my daughter, I'm in an established career.
Yes. Right.
And my time is, flexible. Right. And I can do more things with her. So I think the most impactful thing I would say is that being at the age I am now and having the experience that I've had, I definitely want to be able to spend more time with her.
That makes sense.
And, you know, really be able to be present for all of those moments that you miss when you're like trying to be a career mom.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. I know you have.
Yeah, so I totally relate to that.
Right?
It is
when
hard.
you're working and traveling like you do and doing stuff, right?
Exactly.
How is that for you? How do you handle that?
I just make the most of it.
Yeah.
My oldest is really helpful with everything I do, and she kind of emulates what I do as far as raising and, you know, coddling her sister.
Sure.
And she kind of just does the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like mommy 2.0, but it's her sister. So, you know, she still has that same love and same, you know, effects that I give to both
That's
of them.
awesome. So you're like a role model for her.
I try to be, girl. I do the best I can.
Right.
We all are doing the best we can, right?
Absolutely.
That's all you can do.
I think moms go into like autopilot.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know, and
exactly.
so I'm not a mother yet, but I definitely, as a woman, I can kind of, you know, relate and, you know, in that aspect. I was gonna, to go with that, I was gonna ask, is she taking a liking to makeup or any photography or anything? Like, she's like, Mommy, you know, how's that?
That is so funny you ask that. You know, I take my daughter with me if I can, like on set.
Okay.
If I'm doing something. Actually, when I was working on that film, I could only stay for a week, and the film was like 6 weeks, and the director was like, "Go get your daughter and come back and bring her with you." I try to expose her to everything because I feel that's what makes us well-rounded people, right?
Yes.
When you can like say, oh, I've traveled to this place or whatever, or you can pick up a camera and like my mom was a photographer, or you can do your own makeup because like, oh, my mom had everything and she told me how to do brows, you know? So I try to expose her to everything.
That's good.
But, you know, I don't want her to grow up too fast because I love the innocence of her
so
and
that
everything.
Perfect balance. And making sure it's not too much, but you expose her a little bit. But, you know, needs to be not. I got it.
Yeah, but makeup is cool. Even when she's 6. But don't ever let a 6-year-old do your face.
Oh no, I don't agree either. That's just it's not a good look.
Oh wow.
I was like, am I Grace Jones?
Am I Grace Jones? So you were getting a lot of that she was giving you like the wing eye and stuff, like some color.
Oh, it was like it was more than color. It was like color on 15 power. No. It was insane.
Crayola.
They don't have the light, delicate strokes like we do. It's just a harsh light.
Very harsh. They don't understand the blend.
Yeah.
The blend. The art of the blend.
She gonna get it though.
You know,
she's gonna get it.
Yeah.
They literally just learn how to color in the line.
Yeah.
So that they're just literally coloring within the line.
Yeah, color by numbers.
Yeah. It's just like, it's a
That's
color book.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's funny.
So tell me, just in sight with your daughter and everything, what are some fun things that you and her like to do around the city?
Oh, you know, I treat her like one of my girlfriends. So like if I want to go out, but my husband's not available, then she's my date for dinner. And we go to like swanky places and, you know, we have mocktails.
Aww.
And so I love doing that because it's fun. But, you know, I always bring like a little coloring set or whatever because, you know, I don't want her interrupting other diners.
Right.
So we like to do that, and art shows, of course. You know, we try to go to all the art shows, whatever's happening at the Franklin Institute or whatever, you know, just exposure.
Right.
And anything that has to do with outdoor sports, like hiking, biking. She's learning how to roller skate. Oh. Yeah, she's so cute. I'm like, oh my God, I love roller skating. I just want to get on there and like show her out. But I'm like, all right, this is about you.
Right.
So that's what we do. Yeah. It's fun though. Yeah.
It's
a lot of fun.
Awesome. So if you don't mind me asking, you know, the viewers may want to know, I love your hair. The hairstyle is really cute. Could you elaborate a little bit on your heritage or your background?
Yes, I'm African.
Okay.
Yep. So my family is a mix, of course, but I love to just, you know, claim my African heritage. I'm the only light bright. Everyone else is very brown and, you know, multicolor, but West African, Cape Verdean, that's, Yep.
Did you do like an ancestry?
So I haven't because I've been blessed to
know your
lineage,
That's good.
mostly about our side, not so much my husband's side or my mom, but my dad's side, we know, because they did Ancestry, and my grandmother was a very great historian. So that was really helpful. Yeah. Okay. But my cousin, she did Ancestry, and she kind of like, filled in the gap. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool, right?
That is cool.
What about you guys? I feel like you are Native American something. Is there a mix of Native American?
Not even. No? Everyone gets me wrong every time. So I'm half Black and half Filipino.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was thinking because you have the big eyes, and I was thinking like Native American.
Oh, yeah. I get that a lot. I get, if I'm a Latina, I get a lot of that, but nope.
No. Now, what about you?
So my family is Creole from Louisiana.
Oh,
so I guess Black, French, Native American, but same as you. I mean, we're Black.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I have relatives who are, they look Caucasian, and some who look African. It's a melting pot. So
yeah,
absolutely.
That's the great thing about like families, right? You have the whole spectrum, and it's even better if people really know where they're from, because it just brings your life so much value.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to do that. That's not someone else's ancestry. I just want to see exactly where,
There's so many different things. There's like 23andMe now, and like Ancestry.com. And you can even find people, relatives that, you had no idea about.
Exactly. So I do want to ask, because I love your curls, what is your curly girl routine?
Oh boy. I'm gonna be honest with you, girl. Most of the time, like, I'm throwing a wig on.
Okay.
To be quite honest. But I do love my hair. It's just so much work. I know you probably deal with. But I am loving, so I love Miss Jessie's, all of her products.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And then I just feel like I just need a little bit more moisture. So I use like either Moroccan oil, or I just straight use coconut oil.
Yes,
like,
I love coconut oil.
Cold pressed. Yeah, it's just and it smells so good.
It does.
Yeah,
It smells like fruits and exotic.
Exactly. Like you just came from the Caribbean.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I did want to go back. You were telling us about, how you and your baby girl go and, eat fancy and bougie and everything.
Yeah.
I'm a foodie myself. I'm just curious, what are your top 3 favorite places to dine in Philly?
Oh, okay. You want to go while you're here, right?
Girl,
okay. So this is a good one. So I love LMNO. It's right in Fishtown. Fishtown is my neighborhood. So I love it. It's like kind of a Mexican flair, but they have a lot of seafood. Do you eat seafood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just give you so much seafood. Like, so good.
It's my favorite, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look.
And they have a dish that kind of reminds you of like gumbo, but it's cold. And it's kind of like, what do you call it? Almost like ceviche.
Ceviche, yeah.
Okay. But it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It comes in like, those big goblets that you drink wine out of? It comes in that.
Oh, wow.
It's so good. And then if you have chips to dip it, it's even better.
That sounds delicious.
I like, oh my gosh, so Italian, I like Scarpetta, which is on Rittenhouse Square at the Rittenhouse Hotel. Really swank.
Ooh,
and I like Estia. It's like Mediterranean flair. Those are my top 3, but there's like a million others. Yeah. And if you ever go to Estia, they have those zucchini chips.
Oh, you just spoke. Good. You just spoke to me on the zucchini
You might have to go get that.
Girl,
right?
Yeah.
So good. I'm hungry now.
Right. We're sitting here talking about food.
Yeah.
You always think when you're thinking Philly, you think Philly cheesesteak. So it's just so refreshing to hear, something more cultural options, because you mentioned so many different types of cuisines. So
absolutely.
You said you're half Filipino, right?
Yes.
So, do you know how to cook Filipino food?
No, girl.
No?
Not at all.
Okay. They have a really good place downtown in Philly. I forget the name of it, but if you're ever, wanting to taste the Philly side of the Philippines.
Oh.
Yeah.
Might have to try that.
Okay. Yeah. It's good.
Gotta try that one there. Okay, so here's a really important question, I think, for the viewers. I look at you and I see a female boss. I see a boss. So talk to the young women that are watching the series here and explain to them if they're coming up and, you know, trying to find themselves, maybe they could be high school age or whatnot, and trying to decide what to do. And if they have a passion, like you have a few, how do you tap into that, and how do you take it, you know, grasp it by the horns, go for it? And when you're there at that place that you are now, how does it feel? Like the whole process?
Sure. So, you know, that's a great question. I just want to acknowledge how great that question is, because I feel like a lot of us women, especially entrepreneur women or women of color, right? Yes. We see other women that could be role models for us, right? But maybe they don't show all of the hard work and everything that led up to you being CEO or, you know, a business owner that's making all this money and doing all these great things. They just show like the elaborate lifestyle that they have and, you know, what they're doing with how they've made it. So I think it's really important that women who are business owners, especially women of color, right?
Emphasize, yes.
Right. I think it's so important that we really hold those girls up and give them a platform to be successful. Yes. I know for me, I had a roller coaster life. You know, our path is not linear. Right. And it's so many things that can distract you from your goals. Yes. Right. Yeah. So you need those people who they're already there. They're making the money, they're traveling, they're doing all the stuff that you want to do. But, you know, don't be cagey. Don't be like, you know, you got to learn on your own or, you know, elusive. I think we should really give those girls a blueprint and let them know, like, I was once where you were. Yeah. Right. You know, I was once in your position. Yes. And this is what I did. You don't have to follow my path, but maybe it will inspire them and, you know, give them ideas or just even help them not give up. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so hard, especially when you are an entrepreneur, and you don't have to be a full-time entrepreneur, but entrepreneur is not for everybody. Yeah, right. That's right. You know, it's not for everybody. And it's so difficult sometimes. You just want to quit. You're like, bump this. I'm not doing this no more. Let me go get a real job. Yeah, you know what I mean? And if that's what you have to do, there's nothing wrong with that. Right. Right? But you should never feel like you have to give up on those dreams. Like, just start again. Just start again. You know? Right. And I think it's very important that we provide that for our young girls, our sisters.
That mentorship. You know? That mentorship. And the so fact important. That you're still relatable to them. Yeah. That part where you're not, like you said, already, you know, the glitz, the glam, the money. Yeah. Here I am. Yeah. But letting them see, okay, this is what it takes, the hard work and stuff. So I commend you for that. Because it's a lot of people who, once they get to that place, it's like, oh, screw everybody else. Yeah. You know, seem to have that thing about you. Where
I try. I mean, that was one of the main reasons that, you know, I got the studio, because I felt when I was doing photography in my very smelly basement, I was like, there's not a lot of places where I can go and it's affordable, where I can take my clients, but I'm still going to make money. And maybe I wasn't at the point where I'm charging like that top dollar. Maybe I'm charging $200. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get my portfolio together or whatever. Right. And I need a place to shoot. And I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it at all. So, you know, I was bringing people in my basement, and it was, for me, I mean, those clients appreciated it and it was nice photos. But for me, I wanted something more. So I was like, when I get a place, I'm going to, you know, I work full time. I can't be there all the time. But when I'm not there, I want to have a place where other artists can come and create for not a lot of money. And they can, you know, be able to get their feet wet. And a lot of people email me and they're like, hey, I'm a new photographer and I know you got a 2-hour minimum, but can I only do an hour? And I'm like, why not? Awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to help people out. I was helped so much.
It's like, giving back.
Thank you. Giving back. That's how you're doing.
Giving
So
back.
I get it.
Yeah. We can always do more though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
That never runs out, you know?
No, it doesn't.
Never runs out, baby.
So what's next? What's next for you? Any projects or any cool news you want to share to the audience?
Oh, cool news. I'm not that cool, but well, I mean, you know, there's so many things. I would say, like, I definitely am super happy and elated that I finally, after 5 years, decided to go back for my master's.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
yeah, that's like a huge deal for me, and I hope that I don't have to quit my job. But so I'm doing that, and you know, I'm just working on a new studio spot, which is amazing, and it's like all white, so that's cool. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, lots of fun. Maybe you'll be in there with this one.
Perhaps.
Maybe he'll be shooting you in an all-white studio.
That's very swank.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, very swank. That's the goal.
Right. Absolutely.
Very swank. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm speechless, y'all.
Yes.
I feel we have another wonderful queen. And I love everything that you touched on.
Thank you.
I love how you have that mentorship feel about you, and how you're there. You know, you the boss. You're confident, but it's not a big-headed type of. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that air about you is really beautiful. So I appreciate
thank
you.
This is my girl right here.
Hey.
Like, when I first met her, I was like, oh, we're like, you know, kindred spirits.
Yeah. I love it. The energy is always positive.
And it's so good to meet you too. I didn't meet you before, but I feel the vibes. I feel the vibes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one
Thank
more
you,
thing,
guys.
Nakisha, if you don't mind telling everybody where they can find you or follow you.
Sure. So my personal Instagram is Nakisha Hodge. It's Nakisha. And that, you know, on that platform, I'm sharing my work, my artistry, and behind the scenes of the people that I'm shooting with. And then for the studio, Hodgepodge Studios. Actually, it's Hodgepodge 2424. For Instagram, but hodgepodgestudios.com. If you are a photographer or artist or content creator and you need somewhere to shoot, hodgepodgestudios.org. Make sure you go there. We always welcome, you know, novice to the professional. We welcome them all.
And everybody in between.
Yeah.
I love it. Love to hear it. Well, you
Yes.
guys, we are wrapping another wonderful episode of Dynasty Queens. Your girl NiaJ signing off.
And Pamela Nicole.
Until next time.
See ya.